All around the world, millions of people believe in miracles. But are these miracles real? Or does science have the explanation? In Ireland, the seventh son of a seventh son believes he has magic at his hands.
It just came over me, to my whole body.
In Ireland, Danny Gallagher is the seventh son of a seventh son. According to Irish legend, this means he can perform healing miracles.
If I wanted to stop healing tomorrow morning or even this evening, I couldn't stop because people would still keep coming to me.
Does Danny really have miraculous powers? Or is he using a form of hypnosis? Are there other powers at work? And if so, can science detect them? Throughout history, the number 7 has often been associated with good luck and magic.
It's been said that mathematics is the language of the angels. There's always been something definite, something incredibly structured and infallible about numbers.
Now, being the third son of a third son is actually not difficult. Being the seventh son of a seventh son, however, that is actually quite cute, quite clever.
It's a statistical fluke, a 1 in a million chance. But it's made Danny a tabloid sensation. But does he have powers that are truly miraculous?
Folklore is cultural history, the way that people look at the world around them, and they're passed down often through an oral tradition, and they're given a lot of respect.
It is a bit of a burden, but it's a burden I like. It's a burden that I'm very fond of because helping people is worth having a burden.
Danny Gallagher, the seventh son of a seventh son, now in Nice.
Danny's reputation as a miracle worker draws people from all 4 corners of Ireland. For many, they believe he is their last hope. He lays his hands on them, invokes the saints and the Saviour, says a secret prayer and lights a candle. For his cure to work, Danny says they must see him on 3 separate occasions, with the sun setting between each meeting.
God bless you, that's all good.
Right,
But come and see me next week, won't
Right,
you?
yep,
Good
thank you,
man.
Dan.
Okay,
Thank
you're
you.
very well. Nice to meet you.
This is the seventh son of a seventh son, a magic aura around them already from the beginning.
One of Danny's most challenging cases was that of Delia Leonard. In 2009, Delia was running a successful riding stable when she was struck down with a sudden and mysterious illness.
So it was very, very worrying, very terrifying, if you like.
They didn't actually know what was wrong with her. She got the best of service, but they weren't coming up with the answers.
Her body was seized by an unknown infection which baffled doctors. Could Danny help Delia? Perhaps his touch could miraculously cure her mystery illness. In Ireland, Delia was struck down by a raging infection that left doctors baffled.
She was under a very good consultant in hospital, very well known, very good. And she done everything possible for Delia, all tests, everything. But she couldn't make any diagnosis.
It was heart-wrenching, really. From somebody that's so active, outdoors, outgoing, loves life, for to be brought down just for the unknown, it's very hard, you know.
Delia had a serious fever. Her joints were inflamed, her whole body shook. Blood tests showed a level of inflammation 10 times that of a normal, healthy adult. But her doctors had no idea what was causing it. After 6 weeks with no diagnosis, let alone a cure, Delia left the hospital against medical advice. As a last resort, her friend Michelle had suggested she visit Danny Gallagher.
I'd gone to see Danny twice, But when Delia was out of hospital and that, I just said, come on, we'll go down.
People absolutely need hope. There are many cases where people feel like everything else has failed them. Even if they have a normally skeptical point of view, when you get to that point of desperation, you'll let the miraculous have a chance.
Can the seventh son of a seventh son do what doctors can't? Can Danny's healing touch cure Delia's mysterious ailment? And if so, what is his secret? Danny says that the key to his healing power first came to him in a vision when he was a young boy.
A girl was in bed, very, very ill, and there was a clergyman at her bedside. There was a candle burning. The girl was dying. And this is a vision. And I came into the room and I came over to the girl. And the clergyman, he told me the prayer to say.
It's a prayer which, to this day, Danny has kept a secret.
I never let anyone know it, and no one will ever know it, you know. I have to just keep that completely confidential.
So, is Danny's secret prayer the answer?
There's always be skeptic. But then my challenge to the skeptic is go along to those people and talk to them themselves.
3 years ago, Christopher Riley spent 8 months in hospital. And during that time, he almost lost his fight for life.
So he has cancer, suffered cancer.
Liver.
In the liver.
With his cancer spreading and doctors telling him he only has a few months to live, Christopher has turned to Danny Gallagher for help. When doctors have despaired, can Danny's healing touch bring forth a miracle cure? In Ireland, Danny Gallagher, the seventh son of a seventh son, claims to have what the Irish call the cure, the miraculous gift of healing.
People were coming to me and things like that, so I had no other choice. People come to me with all sorts of problems, blind, cancer, wheelchairs, everything.
Christopher has liver cancer, and doctors say it will eventually kill him. He has nearly died 3 times on the operating table. Now, Danny Gallagher is his last hope.
See, he cries every time he thinks of Danny because that's when it all came over in the hospital. Danny said, I'm going to pray for him straight away.
I couldn't get out of bed in the hospital.
No, he was very sick, man. Very sick.
At that moment, Christopher says he felt something extraordinary.
And this thing just came over me, to my whole body.
Many months later, the moment of truth has arrived. Have Danny's prayers been enough? Is Christopher's cancer now in remission?
That's good. So how have you been since?
He's brilliant.
I'm still in the hospital and everything, but everything is stable.
Stable.
Did I? That's
Everything is stable.
The cancer didn't spread.
It didn't spread.
Yeah.
He cried.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Here.
So, since that, I'm improving. I'm improving great. Since
You're a different man, completely different from the last time I saw you, you were the picture of death.
He was. He used to die 3 times on it.
Christopher's cancer hasn't spread. Danny Gallagher is famous in Ireland for being the 7th son of a 7th son. According to Irish legend, such people are born with a power to heal, and that all it takes is the touch of his hand.
People often say to me, Danny, could you move your hand because there's an awful lot of heat coming from your hands, you know? But I don't feel that. I feel pins and needles like whenever I'm touching a person.
Danny's patients believe they can feel some kind of energy transfer when he lays his hands on them.
It felt very warm. It was extremely warm, actually.
Like a water bottle or something you placed on your knee, but I could actually feel heat.
Touch me, okay?
Are they imagining the heat? Or could this be the source of his miracles? If it is, can modern technology detect it? To test what happens during Danny's healing process, an infrared heat-seeking camera is used to film one of his sessions. The test clearly shows that heat does flow from Danny's hands to the person he is healing.
When he placed his hands on me, I could feel this heat from his hands on my skin.
My body just went red or really hot. My feet and my legs are absolutely burning. I don't know, is that natural or not? I haven't got a clue.
There's something within him that can do this, and that's what comes out when he's healing you, is the heat. It's the only explanation I can think for it.
In 2009, Delia suffered from a debilitating, mysterious infection. Her friend Michelle suggested she seek Danny's help.
Danny's a great man. He's very special. People, I think, take him in different ways.
Would Delia also experience a miraculous heat transfer? And would Danny's powers cure her? In the grip of her raging infection, which modern science was unable to diagnose or cure, Delia sought the help of famed Irish miracle healer Danny Gallagher, the seventh son of a seventh son.
Normally people went for 3 days to see Danny, but I said that he was the seventh son of a seventh son. We'll go for the 7 days, 7 times. I saw a difference in Delia after a couple of months. And she's back horse riding now, and she's bigger and bolder.
Today, Delia has completely recovered, and no one can convince her it wasn't Danny's miraculous touch that cured her.
Definitely Danny cured me after a lot of hospital and a lot of tests. So definitely Danny fixed me. Thank God, yeah. Back doing my horses and doing what I love to do, and it's great.
Do Danny's powers really derive from the Irish legend of the seventh son of a seventh son?
I'm the seventh son of a seventh son, but I don't know where that originated from or how it came about. Where that originated, the healing and the seventh son, I don't understand myself, you know.
But the thousands who have felt Danny's touch say his power is nothing short of miraculous.
Well, I believe it's Danny himself. It's whatever he has, I don't know. Seventh son of a seventh son, obviously
has a gift.
Has some healing gift.
He has a gift.
A very remarkable gift.
Yeah.
There's a young man from Derby, claims he came to this earth for a mission of healing and restoring right health. Seventh son of a seven, he was born near Macharan. He's a young faith healer called Danny Gallagher. At 8 years of age, he says through a dream, he got word from his maker, let your powers be seen. Certain people were traveling from near and from far to be cured by the powers of Danny Gallagher. Most people in Ireland have heard of his name. All creeds and all classes are treated the same. The rich and the poor, there's no Gallagher. There's people from Derry, from Antrim and Clare, Kilkenny, Tipperary, Westmeath and Kildare, from Sligo and Galway, Donegal and Armagh. I've heard all the chorus of Danny Gallagher. Most people in Ireland have heard of his name. All creeds and all classes are treated the same. The rich and the poor, there's no calling or bar. They're all counted as equals by Danny Gallagher. There's people from Derry, from Antrim and Clare, Kilkenny, Tipperary, Westmeath and Kildare, from Sligo and Galway, Donegal and Armagh. I've heard all the chorus of Danny Gallagher.
Several years I've been having back problems, and at times I can't walk and I just can't touch my toes. Very difficult to bend. So he says, come along, visit Danny. So I came along and told Danny it was my back that was sore. Well, first time it was okay, then became a second and became a third time. And I can just touch my toes and I don't feel any pain whatsoever.
You claim you can touch your toes? Very good.
See?
To talk about faith healing, about healing. And in an effort to do that, we have three gentlemen joining us, and we'll introduce them very shortly, and we'll have our chat. I hope you'll feel free to give us a ring about anything you want to as part of this as well. They all claim healing powers, but their ability in this regard comes from different origins. So we want to begin with some footage, and it features one of our guests, Danny Gallagher, who is based in Cavan these days, and he's the seventh son of a seventh son. So let's have a look at this.
I started about 25 years ago healing, but as I said there, I never wanted to be here. People coming to me and people knowing I was the seventh son and things like that. And people started looking paralysed arms. I said, oh, you never had a paralysed arm. You only thought that, you know. And then the blind girl got her sight. And that made me believe it myself, because when the blind girl got her sight, there was no turning back for me. I just went on from there. I don't operate from churches, you see that, because I mean, even clergymen advised me I was carrying the right way, because I leave it open to everyone can come to me. I work from hotels and things like that, where everyone can feel at ease. So nobody's threatened by their religion or my religion, so everyone's feel at ease. But people of all nationalities come to me, including the Jews who believe in the great King David. They've come to me as well. Every complaint comes to, regardless if it's a minor complaint to the person, minor, look at it from an outside, you might think it's a minor, but to the person himself it's very serious. That's why they come. So I mean, I listen to everyone, but they come to me with every known ailment. And thank God I've had many, many successes right across the world. God bless you, Billy, and thank you, Colin.
I couldn't pass urine without blood in it, and every time I went to the toilet I was in pain and that. The doctors had me on tutty tablets today for to cure the pains and all that. Then they brought me in for tests that's inserting cameras up you and down you to see could define what was wrong with my kidneys. They checked me for cancer, and first they said I could have cancer going through me, and they checked me and said the tests came back clear. Then they were saying it was stones in my kidneys. I couldn't believe, like, when I seen Danny, it was no sold you like cameras or had to take off road and get this done, and that just blessed you and said his prayer 3 times. And that was 8 months to a year ago, and haven't been on a tablet since, or have to drink fluids, and my kidneys is great and my bowels is great and all my testes is clear and everything.
Not everyone are helped, and I stress that very strongly. I also stress that no one coming to me must ever stop taking any form of treatment. That's very, very important, and no one should stop taking any form without their doctor's consent and going to their family doctor. I stress that strongly, but not everyone is helped, and I strongly say not everyone. I don't want to raise the hopes of everyone. Even our Lord, the greatest healer of all time, he didn't cure everyone. Come to me, they'd never come up to my face and say, Danny, I don't believe this, because, I mean, my cures are backed up by the medical evidence, they're backed up by doctors, they're backed up by the television, they're backed up by the press, and it's not my story, it's the doctor's story. I mean, take the blind girl, what occurred in England, the blind English girl. I mean, the evidence, doctor's evidence is there, and she gave me her blind certificate, or white stick, a souvenir. So, I mean, the evidence is there. So, to skeptics, I mean, naturally, I don't try to push it down their throat and say, oh, come on, you must believe this, or I'll make you believe it. No, that's entirely up to them. Treated just as an ordinary person. You know, I don't want people, and I always like that. I mean, I like to be, I mean, I get in jeans and everything, go out on a bicycle and things like that, go for walks and go for playing with the dog and things like that. But people see me as a healer, and everyone calls me a faith healer or healer. But where that name, it's the media put that name on me, the healer. So I prefer they just call me Danny, you know what I mean, just as an ordinary person.
There he is. That's Danny Gallagher from Derry, based in Cavanagh, 7th son of a 7th son, praying over people and the laying of hands as well. And Danny's with us. You're welcome. Nice to have you with us here today, and thank you for joining us.
I've cured hundreds of thousands of people all over the world by absent healing. People just write to me, I've cured thousands by absent healing. Although I've press cuttings all over the world with that too, but I've never highlighted that, you know, I've never highlighted it, but I've cured many, many people with absent healing, just the same as people meeting me.
And do they have to have faith for them to be cured?
Well, they do, that's the thing, but see, people write to me, but you must realise, Mary, that people have faith. I mean, people coming to a healer, though they might say out there, I don't believe that, and don't believe me, but whenever they are struck down by something, God protect everybody from it, you know what I mean? But whenever they are struck down, they clutch at everything. Even babies don't have faith. You know, I have saw babies coming to me with their eyes shut, didn't even know I was touching them, yet they were cured of skin rashes and different things, you know. And I mean, to that blind English girl, the one you had highlighted in that programme earlier, I mean, she said herself that she didn't believe it, but somebody brought her, and when she was brought to my centre in Birmingham, and I went out to her myself and coaxed her to come in, and the crowd there made her come in as well, and she got her sight completely normal. She gave me her white stick as souvenir and her blind certificate. I have that as souvenir today.
And when did you first realise that, you know, you were kind of different, that things were happening? That
Well, I know it came to me when I was 8-year-old, and a vision was about a girl dying in a bed, I mean, and there was a small crucifix there, and there was a candle burning at her bedside, as you saw me in the film clipping earlier there, and I came over and this girl was dying from cancer, and there was a clergyman at her bedside. So I laid my hands on her body, and the clergyman told me the prayer to say, and she recovered completely. So after that, there was something, after that vision, there was always something telling me I was doing the wrong thing, And no matter what I did in life, something was always telling me I was doing the wrong thing.
Like Eddie.
It's only when I started healing I realised I was doing the right thing. So that's how it all came to me in a vision. But it just snowballed from there. I mean, I didn't want to be a healer. It just snowballed.
Danny Gallagher, a young faith healer from County Derry, with a really extraordinary track record of miracle cures already behind him in his young career.
Now, it's up to the people themselves to decide whether I helped anyone or not. Those testimonies right round the ballroom are the testimonies from the people, not from me, from you and everyone. So the testimonies, as you'll see, blind have got their sight, deaf have got their hearing, Paralysed people have got power in their limbs, and people dying from cancer have been restored to complete normal health.
Many who come to him do so as a last resort. Men like Dennis Pearson, almost totally crippled for years, spine trouble. He had to wear a steel body brace all over. After just one visit to Gallagher, he says now that he can run, jump and skip like he hasn't done for years. He was so delighted, in fact, that he was photographed for a local newspaper climbing up a lamppost.
I can't really explain how it's happened, and I don't think that the faith healer could explain how it happens, except he's told us that he gets the power through his hands, a higher power than we know of.
Are you a religious man yourself?
I'm not a religious man. I'm a God-fearing man, but not a religious man. I don't take it so serious.
Can you remember the first morning when you woke up after you'd been to see Danny the night before? What was it like?
I woke up and you feel something is queer. And then you suddenly, after a short time, you suddenly find you're moving and doing things that you can't believe. It's
Do you worry that it might come back, that the pain might return?
No, I don't think I should ever worry about it returning. I don't think it will.
My side and my back.
The man himself is a surprisingly quiet, unassuming Irishman who says he first learnt of his powers in a dream as a child and for years didn't want to try them out. But now, after only a couple of years working, he has a number of clinics all over Southern Ireland and literally hundreds of glowing testimonial letters from every corner of the UK.
I believe it's a God-given gift. There's no other explanation for it. It's just a God-given gift. Yeah.
And you lived all your life really knowing that you've got this one in a million talent.
Yes, I did, but I didn't want to make use of it because I knew my life wouldn't be my own, you know what I mean? I didn't make use of it, and it's for that reason only. But now that I have seen thousands and thousands of people have benefited from it, I'm really pleased that I did, because you only have to look at the testimonies wherever I go, and you'll see miracle cures.
Well, I've seen people myself, in fact, today leaving this hall, very, very happy people who were, in one way or another, infirm when they came in.
People suffering from serious diseases such as cancer and things like that, and the testimonies there too, where they've been cured. So, I mean, there's no explanation for it.
That hand, in fact, was completely closed virtually for 6 years?
Sort of bent like that, more or less.
And what happened yesterday?
Well, I came to see Danny. He took us inside. We all blessed him. Feels all right, and I said, oh, what? I move my fingers. I can stretch my fingers.
I haven't been without this stick for the last 4 years, which everyone in Erdington knows me. I've lived here 34 years in New Street. My stick up to go to the toilet, I've had to use it. And I left it in the house this morning and walked up to the High Street and got my paper without it.
You must have had, in fact, since you started this, you must have had a lot of sceptical people coming to you. You must have had a lot of people who think you're perhaps a bit of a con man.
Yes,
well, what's your reaction to that?
Everyone believes that, but when they come face to face with me, they can't do that. I mean, here in England, here in Birmingham, nobody believed in me. Now, look, everyone believes it. They only have to come into the ballroom to see. Take my first success here in Birmingham, a gentleman who was here crippled with arthritis. He's dancing, running about complete normal now. They were going to, the hospitals decided they were going to take out the joints in that gentleman. Now he's complete normal, running about.
The most striking example we witnessed firsthand was Gert, a mentally very sprightly septuagenarian who literally crawled out of her taxi into the hall in the morning, and yet by lunchtime was walking completely unaided as she hadn't done in years.
I couldn't walk in here yesterday.
But how do you explain it, Gert? How do you think he can do that?
I don't know. He's got some extra power, I know.
Do you think it's a miracle? What to me? Do you think it's a miracle?
What do you?
No trouble, is it? Do you seriously think it's a miracle?
I do, absolutely. Yes, it is a miracle.
Where are you going to go from here? Because it's going to be like this all your life, presumably.
To tell you the truth, my life's like water in a stream. I've just got caught on it in the tide and I'm washed on. I really don't know where I'm going, you know.
Irishman Danny Gallagher claims to have the healing power to heal many ailments. Gallagher is well known throughout Europe. Michelle Rail attended one of his sessions today.
Gallagher believes he has a gift from God. He says the power of his hands has helped the blind see, the crippled walk, and cured the cancer of others. She says Danny helped to cure her of lung cancer. Now her son is undergoing radiation treatment for a brain tumor.
what would you do if it was your son? And I know there's a lot of both children and stuff like that. You do all you can.
Lining up to see Gallagher at Fitzpatrick's Hotel on Lexington Avenue. They enter his room as reverently as if they were going to confession. All of them are here for a cure. Kenny Smith has chronic fatigue syndrome. Gallagher has been traveling the world, healing thousands, he claims. He's happy to share headlines as well as video clips and other items that proclaim his supposed successes. But Gallagher says what makes him uniquely special is that he's the seventh son of his parents, just like his father was in his family. That makes Gallagher the seventh son of a seventh son.
It's believed for centuries old that the seventh son possessed those healing powers, healing powers, and I mean, that's how people come to me. I was still in the town yet, but I was born, reared, and brought up. So, I mean, people always kept coming to me.
Gallagher's rituals include touching the body with a crucifix, whispered prayers, and holding a lighted candle. A session lasts just a couple of minutes.
When I touch them, I feel like pins and needles in their hands, and most people tell me they feel a heat in their body or a sensation in their body whenever I touch them.
Bridget Cleary came looking for relief for a frozen shoulder due to an injury.
There was like a lot of heat and a lot of sensation, and I felt automatically when he raised my hand up that I was never able to raise it like that before. So I really do testify that my hand is probably a lot better now than it was before I went into the room.
This woman says her unspecified ailment, if not cured, has at least been helped by her visit.
Very pleasant, calm, not easy to describe, just a very beautiful feeling.
Gallagher says cures come through him, but only when God chooses. He claims priests and doctors among his followers. Nor do they know about any healing tradition from a seventh son born of a seventh son. But the church does believe in the possibility of miracle cures.
God's power can work through an individual, and through touch, through prayer, that a miracle could possibly occur.
From County Derry.
Derry County. Can I first say I'm pleased to be here today, and I'm very happy to be in the studios with you.
We're very happy to have you with us as well. Now, in Celtic legend, in the Irish legend, this is a very popular phenomenon. If you are the seventh son of a seventh son.
If you want, one of my most famous cures was a blind girl who was 22 years stone blind, and she got her sight after she visited me, and she was 22 years stone blind. Now, with the best respect to the medical profession, they did their best for the girl, but they said she would never see, and she got her sight completely normal after she visited.
Now, is this your first patient? Was she your first patient?
No, she wasn't my first patient. No,
You're 4 years old.
Yes, that's correct. When I was 8 years old, the healing came to me in a vision. It was about a girl dying in bed, and she was all covered in white, There's a priest by her bedside, and there's a candle burning, a small candle burning beside. There was a crucifix. So I took the crucifix, and the priest told me the prayer to say, which I still say to this present day, but I keep it confidential. And I lifted the clothes of the girl and laid my hands on her body and blessed her with the crucifix, and she recovered completely. And after that, there was something always telling me through my life I was doing the wrong thing. No matter what I done in life, something was always telling me I was doing the wrong thing. It's only when I started healing did I get satisfaction and know I was doing the right thing. And so thank God, from that little girl that I cured at the ice cream van, that took my story worldwide, and thousands have been cured all over the world since then, including a girl from Canada, which was shown on Canadian television, who was paralyzed completely from a road accident. That girl was shown on Canadian television walking completely normal again. That's when I visited. But thank God, from that little girl right through to now, many people have benefited. Their health has come back. I have photographs of people of a lady who had cancer, particularly too. We have taken a picture of her with the cancer, and it shows her a year later on a front page of a national paper what she was like after she visited me. It showed her out working her farm completely normal. And can I go back to this? Just only 2 weeks ago, there was a gentleman who was I went to see here in New Jersey, who was affected with throat cancer, who couldn't speak. He had no voice. He'd lost his voice and all, and the doctors suspected he had cancer. The very next day he saw me, his voice was back, and just this week he's got the clearance from the hospital that the cancer has vanished completely.
And this was in New Jersey?
That's here in New Jersey.
I see.
That's since I came to the United States.
Now tell me, of course, you have traveled all over in Europe and Southeast Asia as well, and you've had many Indian patients. But tell me exactly, what do you do when somebody wants to be healed? Just walk us through it. Like, what exactly do you do when how do you bless them?
I bless them with a small crucifix. I laid my hands on their body and also touch the affected part of their body. Say it was your shoulder, your back, or your leg. I just touch that part of your body and bless it with a crucifix. I place a little blessed candle in your hand, which I light, and just say a prayer, which is confidential, which I keep confidential. And it just only takes a few moments, and that's all to it. And the person comes, sees me, then goes home again, and perhaps that might be the end of his trouble. Every known ailment, people have been cured coming to me.
Depression, anxiety, cancer,
yes.
Throat cancer,
all
kinds of ailments.
Arthritis, multiple sclerosis, every known ailment, yeah. So all over the world, every country I've visited, people have been cured in those countries. Every country I've visited. People here in the United States, people in England, people in Africa, every place I've gone, people have been cured. And they run into thousands and thousands. Now, at my clinic, there's press reports displayed all around the walls. I also show a video which is taken from television clippings that shows people that cured in different parts of the world. And people can read about it in the waiting room where at my clinics, and you'll see people, just what you've shown here, that's taken from photographed copies of national papers all over the world.
Right, this is Daily News. That's New York's hometown newspaper. With the caption says, "He puts his faith in healing the sick, Danny Gallagher. Followers of healers still believe in miracles."
I hope to be here for a few more weeks yet, and also in New York and Hamilton, Trenton, that's in New Jersey, those two places, and New York as well.
So if somebody would like to speak with you or have an appointment to, so you heal them, they can get to you either in New York or in Jersey. Yeah, they can get directly to me. If they want to speak to me directly, they can phone me till New Jersey, or I will also be holding clinics here on Saturday and Sundays in New York. Details of you will be given them later. But in New Jersey, anyone can ring me at any time, night or day, and leave a message for me in the voicemail. I will get back to them. Okay, well, thank you very much, Danny. It's a pleasure to have you here with us and tell us about your healing powers. And,
thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
God bless you.
Okay. God bless you all.
Danny Gallagher putting his faith in healing in his hands with his Midas touch.
Well, it's a spinal disorder with my legs are just completely numb. I walk back, that's something to hang on to.
And you have had medical treatment for this condition for a period of time?
Year and a half.
And with no great success. So then you decided to come to see Danny. And could you just tell us in your own words what kind of improvement you've had, if any?
Well, I lift my legs up like that now, and I couldn't do that before.
Both legs?
Both legs, yes.
And you feel as though that you're regaining?
It's starting to come slowly.
When I was a child, obviously I was told by my parents that I was blind.
And I looked at that child, and her eyes and my eyes met like two torches shining at each other. And I told the mother that I was the seventh son of a seventh son.
You know, the only resort they had was Danny, so they went to see him when we were children, and we got our sight back, and I'm very grateful. I've had loads of stories about Danny.
My purpose of coming to London was to meet those girls again, because one of them, that one of them's going to Australia, and for the first time in their life they're going to be separated.
How are you?
Hello, Karen. That's lovely to see you too. Okay.
Good to see you.
It's lovely.
Always a pleasure.
And you too. God, you got so big
I'm
from
sure.
the first time.
Yeah.
From the first time I saw you, wee small babies, you know. So different now, so big.
Yeah, I was born in January, and it was about 6 weeks later we realised I couldn't see. So we took them to King's College Hospital, and there seemed various doctors there. But then, after attended the hospital for several times and other hospitals, they told us like they were unable to see, they were totally blind. We heard about Danny from the Irish Post, so we got in touch with him, and then we visited him 3 times in total. And that was about after they were about 4 to 5 months old at this stage. So within about a couple of weeks, they started to see.
Being the seventh son, and I mean, it's known for centuries old that they possess healing powers. And I couldn't explain the cures, how the cures take place. I just don't know how they get, what's to do with the seventh son or what's not. And it's lovely to see, and the girls again, you know, it's lovely. And my mind always keeps flashing back to the first time you brought them down. It's a different story.
It's a long time ago now.
Yeah, but it's a different story today.
It is. It's a wonderful story.
Well, it was a very sad time when we came back from the hospital and realised we were going to be blind for life. So what Danny had done for us was amazing. It was a great relief when they could see.
I feel really, really blessed that I have my sight, because I'd be with a stick and I'd be in life of darkness, so I feel privileged and grateful that I have been in contact with Danny, and he's a friend of our family as well, so I feel very, very grateful, but I have 100% faith in him, and it's been proven, so we're proving facts. So I'm really grateful.
Thank God both got their sight. I know it would have been hurtful if one had got their sight and the other hadn't got their sight. I never feel that I do it in a strange way. I never feel that I do it. I mean, I don't feel any different from you or from anybody else. I just feel it's a gift from God. I never feel it any way that I done it at all. But thank God that it does happen after this day, you know.
I do believe, and it's like, you know, I've seen evidence of Danny's work.
People who come to me of all denominations come to me who have no faith and never been inside a church in their life, but just to thank God they've been cured as well. But in saying that, I want to stress strongly, I don't cure every single person. Our Lord, the greatest healer of all time, did not cure everyone. God rest their mum. She wrote me a beautiful letter, and one of the most touching letters I've ever received, where she expressed her heartfelt thanks for the girls getting their sight, and she went on to explain in that letter how different life would have been for the two of them, carrying a white stick the rest of their life. You know. But I know she passed away, but thank God she passed away knowing that the girls could see.